Prison overcrowding.
No one can stop us.
New Mexican Mafia.
I'm above the law. People have been sending me stories about their first days in jail. I've got a playlist now on my YouTube channel, so I'm going to read you the latest one I've received. It's Harris County Jail, 2005. I was placed in prison because at a young age of 18 I started getting into drugs with my friends. I was at a house party when 3 middle-aged tattooed Mexicans crashed. Drugged up, not having it occur in the world, I went up to them and questioned who they were. Not happy by this, one of them pushed me aside and said, "Fuck off, you punk-ass white boy." Fighting words. I replied by punching him in the right side of his face. Then all 3 of them ganged me and started to beat the living shit out of me. I'm lucky enough the police arrived because they had a noise complaint from the neighbours and the Mexicans ran off. They called an ambulance. I stupidly agreed to allow them to search my car because they knew I was under the influence of something other than beer. They found drugs in my car and pocket. Man, that's such a typical story. The police come out to help you and they end up arresting you. I know a guy who called the police out and they took a look around his house and came back with a SWAT team and he ended up in jail for a long time. I think they saw things in there that they didn't like, drug stuff perhaps. So they found the drugs. Because I was a good kid in school and this was my first charge, the judge was lenient enough to only give me 1 year in Harris County Jail, Texas. And those Texas jails are no joke. It's just California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. All those crazy southern states. My first days in jail were quite scary. I knew that jail was intense because of friends that had served. I was pulled away by the Aryan Brotherhood. They asked for my charges. Shitting myself, I gave them my charge sheet and they saw I had drug charges and let me be. So, if you've watched my video on YouTube, what is a charge check? That is exactly what happened to me. Aryan brother, lower level guys, torpedoes, come up to you and ask to show your charge sheet, which is a little printout from the jail. I went into a cell where there was one top bunk and took it. The cell was full of white guys like me, all with drug charges, apart from one person awaiting a trial for murder. Yep, that's how it is in jail these days. Nearly everyone is in there on a low-level drug offence. So much for the taxpayers' money. There was this one time when a new guy came in at Chomo. Everyone was talking about it, and the same day he was transferred, 5 guys walked into his cell, told everybody to get out, cracked his head into the wall, kicked his groin area, stabbed him 3 times until his lifeless body was left in his cell. Until COs saw him, nobody said anything. The guards often know if someone's a sex offender and they'll tell the prisoners just to get the convict justice going. Got a video on this, what happens to sex offenders in prison, and it's nothing nice. Drug debts and violence against sex offenders and snitches, biggest causes of bloody violence in prison that I'm aware of. Right, I only got into one fight and it was about a month and a half before my release. I was sat on my table with a couple of friends I had made when a fairly built white guy came up to me and asked what the fuck I was staring at. Uh-oh, that's getting called out. I knew this guy because he apparently had bad anxiety. I said I'm not staring at anything. He said, "Don't lie to me, you punk bitch. As soon as someone calls you a punk bitch, you have to fight, otherwise everybody in your race will smash you." Fighting words. Knowing this, I got up and punched him straight in the nose. Now, I'm not a strong guy, but I know how to fight. He replied with a left swing, which I blocked with my arms, and I punched him in the liver. He went down with a massive groan, and I let it be. I think a lot of the gang members respected me more because of this, and I never got the occasional stare from certain inmates. That's my story summed up. It may sound boring to you after how insane yours was. Thanks for taking the time to read this. Didn't sound boring at all. Sounded quite like mine when I first went in. These county jails, so many people coming in and out. Unsentenced people, new arrestees. They are the most crazy environments in the world. Maricopa County Jail, I was in there for 26 months, and that was where a lot of my craziest stories have originated. I've even got videos of guards murdering mentally ill prisoners in that jail on my YouTube channel. Just put in guards murder Arpaio Jail, ARPAIO, if you want to watch those. Thanks for watching the channel. Over 70,000 subs. Appreciate your support.